Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So to begin this class, I would like to first read from Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, a selection of verses from chapter 15 of the Madhya-līlā. The first verse, text 17, is on the board. This is a very sweet description of the celebration of Janmāṣṭamī by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates in Sri Jagannath Puri. So then we will go on and read a verse and purport from Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Let us now all together recite Madhya-līlā, chapter 15, text 17, which is on the board. Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī dīne Nanda Mahotsava. Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī dīne Nanda Mahotsava. Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava. Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava. Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī dīne Nanda Mahotsava. Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī dīne Nanda Mahotsava. Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava. Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava. Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī dīne Nanda Mahotsava. Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī dīne Nanda Mahotsava. Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava. Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava.
Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī Nanda Mahotsava.
Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī Nanda Mahotsava.
Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava.
Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava.
Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī Nanda Mahotsava.
Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī Nanda Mahotsava.
Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava.
Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava.
Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī Nanda Mahotsava.
Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī Nanda Mahotsava.
Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava.
Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava. Antaches.
Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī Nanda Mahotsava.
Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī Nanda Mahotsava.
Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava.
Gopavesha Haila Prabhulanya Bhakta Shava. Krishna Janma Yatra. Krishna Janma Yatra. Observance of the birth of Lord Krishna. Observance of the birth of Lord Krishna. Dine. Dine. On the day of. On the day of. Nanda Mahotsava. Nanda Mahotsava. The festival observed by Nanda Maharaj. The festival observed by Nanda Maharaj. The father of Krishna. The father of Krishna. Gopavesha Haila. Gopavesha Haila. Dressed himself as a cowherd boy. Dressed himself as a cowherd boy. Prabhu. Prabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lanya. Lanya. Taking. Taking. Bhakta Sabha. Bhakta Sabha. All the devotees. All the devotees. Translation. By His divine grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The devotees also celebrated the festival of Janmāṣṭamī, Krishna's birthday, which is also called Nanda Mahotsava, the festival of Nanda Maharaj. At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees dressed themselves as cowherd boys. Dade Dugdha Bhara Sabi Nijas Kondikari Mahotsavastani Aila Bali Hori Hori. Having dressed up like cowherd boys, all the devotees carried pots of milk and yogurt balanced on rods over their shoulders. Thus they all arrived at the festival grounds chanting the holy name of Hari. Caitanya-caritāmṛta achena nanda veshadhari Jagannatha mahati honachena brajeshwari. Caitanya-caritāmṛta dressed himself like Nanda Maharaj, and Jagannath Mahati dressed himself as Mother Yashoda. Apani pratapa rudra aramishra kashi sarvabhauma ara parichya bhatra tulasi. At that time, King Prataparudra was also personally present with Kashi Mishra, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and Tulasi Parichapatra. Inha sabhavana prabhu kare nrityaranga dadhi dogda haridrajali bhare savar anga. As usual, Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced jubilantly. Everyone was covered with milk, yogurt, and yellow turmeric water. Adaita kahe satya kahi na kariha gopa lagoda priyahrati para taira jana gopa. It was at this time that Sri Advaita Acharya said, "Please do not be angry. I speak the truth. I shall know whether you are a coward boy only if you can wheel this rod about." Tobe laguda lanya prabhu piraite lagila bara bara akashe pela lupiya darila. Accepting Advaita Acharya's challenge, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took a big rod and began to wheel it around and around. Again and again he threw the rod into the sky and caught it when it fell. Shirer opari prishte samukhe dvipashe padamadye piraya lagura deke lokahase. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wheeled and threw the rod, sometimes over his head, sometimes behind his back, sometimes in front of him, sometimes to his side, and sometimes between his legs. Indeed, all the people laughed to see this. Alata chakrera praya lugura piraya deki sarvaloke chitte chamatkara paya. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu whirled the rod like in a circle like a firebrand, the heart of everyone who saw it was astonished. Emoto nityananda piraya lugura ke bujibe tanna duhara gopa bhavaguda. Nityananda Prabhu also played at whirling the rod. Who can understand how they were ecstatically immersed in the deep emotions of the cowherd boys? Prataparudrera agyaya padicha tulasi jagannatera prasare vastra ekalanya asi. Following the orders of Maharaj Prataparudra, the temple superintendent named Tulasi brought one of Lord Jagannath's used cloths. Bahu mulya vastra prabhu mastake bandhila acharyadi prabhura ganera parahila. This valuable cloth was wrapped around the head of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The other devotees headed by Advaita Acharya also had cloths wrapped around their heads. Caitanya-caritāmṛta jagarata dvidjan avesha bilaila ghare chila yaptadhana. In ecstasy, Caitanya-caritāmṛta, who was dressed as Nanda Maharaj, and Jagannath Mahati, who was dressed as Mother Yashoda, distributed all the riches they had stocked at home. Deki Mahaprabhu Bada Santosha Paila Mata Pita Jnani Dunhe Namaskara Kaila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was greatly satisfied to see this. Accepting them both as his father and mother, he offered them obeisances. Parama Amesha Prabhu Aila Nijaghana Madhya-līlā Kare Gauranga Sundara. In great ecstasy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to his residence. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, known as Gauranga Sundara, performed various pastimes. Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Śrī Janmāṣṭamī Mahotsav ki jai, Gaur Premanandi Haribo. So, as we have just heard, the festival of Śrī Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī is most joyous occasion. On this day, the devotees all turn out to celebrate the Lord's appearance, remember his appearance, reenact his pastimes. And in this way, they experience great happiness. But in Krishna consciousness, our joy, because all these activities are the activities of liberation. So, being liberated from the modes of nature, such festival as this is always joyful. But our joy must be properly directed. And that is why we have to hear the philosophy of Srimad Bhagavatam. Because being carried away by joy, yet at the same time not being very well versed in our philosophy, not knowing what is proper and what is improper, that very joy may be the cause of our deviating from the strict path of Krishna consciousness. One who becomes very joyful, very jubilant, can also become careless. This is the danger. Thinking I'm liberated, experiencing the bliss of liberation, then one thinks, perhaps, again, if his intelligence is not sharp from philosophy, then one thinks being liberated means I can do any damn thing. And that's where all the trouble starts. So, therefore, let us now hear the philosophical significance of Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa's appearance in this material world. We're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, which is entitled Scheduled Incarnations, text 26. I'll go through the Sanskrit quickly. Bhume surettara varutta vimarditiyaya klesha varyaya kalaya sita Krishna kesha jata karishyati jananu palaksha marga karmani chatma mahimani bandhanani. Please repeat. Bhume, of the entire world. Sura ittara, other than godly persons. Bharutta, soldiers. Vimarditaya, distressed by the burden. Klesha, miseries. Vyavaya, for the matter of diminishing. Kalaya, along with his plenary expansion. Sita Krishna, not only beautiful but also black. Kesha, with such hairs. Jata, having appeared. Karishyati, would act. Jana, people in general. Anupalaksha, rarely to be seen. Marga, path. Karmani, activities. Cha, also. Atma Mahima, glories of the Lord Himself. Upani Bandhanani, in relation to. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. When the world is overburdened by the fighting strength of kings who have no faith in God, the Lord, just to diminish the distress of the world, descends with His plenary portion. The Lord comes in His original form, with beautiful black hair, and just to expand His transcendental glories, He acts extraordinarily. No one can properly estimate how great He is. Purport. This verse is especially describing the appearance of Lord Krishna and His immediate expansion, Lord Baladev. Both Lord Krishna and Lord Baladev are one Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is omnipotent, and He expands Himself in innumerable forms and energies, and the whole unit is known as the one Supreme Brahman. Such extensions of the Lord are divided into two divisions, namely personal and differential. The personal expansions are called the Vishnu Tattvas, and the differential expansions are called the Jiva Tattvas. And in such expansional activity, Lord Baladev is the first personal expansion of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Vishnu Puran, as well as in the Mahabharata, both Krishna and Baladev are mentioned as having beautiful black hair, even in their advanced age. The Lord is called Anupalaksha Marga, or in still more technical Vedic terms, Avan Manasa Gocha, one who is never to be seen or realized by the limited sense perception of the people in general. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.25, it is said by the Lord, Nam Prakasha Sarvasya Yoga Maya Samaveta In other words, he reserves the right of not being exposed to anyone and everyone. Only the bona fide devotees can know him by his specific symptoms. And out of many, many such symptoms, one symptom is mentioned here in this verse, that the Lord is Śrī Kṛṣṇa Klesha, or one who is observed always with beautiful black hair. Both Lord Krishna and Lord Baladev have such hair on their heads. And thus, even in advanced age, they appeared like young boys, 16 years old. That is a particular symptom of the personality of Godhead. In the Brahma Samhita it is stated that although he is the oldest personality among all living entities, he always looks like a new, youthful boy. That is the characteristics of a spiritual body. The material body is symptomized by birth, death, old age, and diseases. But the spiritual body is conspicuous by the absence of those symptoms. Living entities who reside in the Vaikuntha Lokas, in eternal life and bliss, have the same type of spiritual body without being affected by any signs of old age. It is described in the Bhagavatam Canto 6 that the party of Vishnudutas, who came to deliver Ajamil from the clutches of the party of Yamaraj, appeared like youthful boys, corroborating the description in this verse. It is ascertained thus that the spiritual bodies in the Vaikuntha Lokas, either of the Lord or of the other inhabitants, are completely distinct from the material bodies of this world. Therefore, when the Lord descends from that world to this world, he descends in the spiritual body of Atma Maya, or internal potency, without any touch of the Bahiranga Maya, or external material energy. The allegation that the impersonal Brahman appears in this material world by accepting a material body is quite absurd. Therefore, the Lord, when he comes here, has not a material body, but a spiritual body. The impersonal Brahmajyoti is only the glaring effulgence of the body of the Lord, and there is no difference in quality between the body of the Lord and the impersonal ray of the Lord, called Brahmajyoti. Now the question is, why the Lord, who is omnipotent, comes here to diminish the burden created upon the world by the unscrupulous kingly order. Certainly the Lord does not need to come here personally for such purposes, but he actually descends to exhibit his transcendental activities in order to encourage his pure devotees who want to enjoy life by chanting the glories of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita 9, 13, 14, it is stated that the Mahatmas, great devotees of the Lord, take pleasure in the chanting of the activities of the Lord. All Vedic literatures are meant for turning one's attention towards the Lord and his transcendental activities. Thus, the activities of the Lord, his dealings with worldly people, create a subject matter for discussion by his pure devotees. Bhume suretara varutta vimarditaya klesha vyavaya kalaya sita krishna kesha jutta karishyati jananu palaksha marga kamani shatma mahimo pani bandhanani. When the world is overburdened by the fighting strength of kings who have no faith in God, the Lord, just to diminish the distress of the world, descends with his plenary portion. The Lord comes in his original form with beautiful black hair. And just to expand his transcendental glories, he acts extraordinarily. No one can properly estimate how great he is. Mukam karoti vachalam bhavananayate prikritam Śrī Kṛṣṇa Bhume suretara varutta dimarditaya klesha. So it is stated in this line that the Lord's mission is to relieve the burden that Mother Bhumi is suffering from due to the overpopulation of the world. Not that the world is numerically overpopulated at any time. It's not just a question of numbers of living entities. As Srila Prabhupada says, that any number, because we read the fantastic, to our conception, fantastic number of personalities who are on the surface of the earth at the time of Lord Krishna's passing in the Yadu dynasty. So many, hundreds and millions, billions of family members of Lord Krishna, expanded family members in the Yadu dynasty. Actually, we find it is far more in that dynasty than the present population of the earth. So, it is not that there is a necessary numerical limitation, because this world, this universe, is of course Krishna's creation, and it follows his purpose. But Mother Bhumi does become distressed when there is an overpopulation of materialistic persons, who are described here as Sura Itra, means other than godly persons. Varuta. They're soldiers. They're very much engaged in building up a massive and aggressive military force so that they can execute their plans, their purpose, their idea of what civilization is supposed to be. So because this creates misery for Mother Bhumi, she does not like to support a gang of materialists upon her body. Therefore, as we know, in reading in Krishna book about Lord Krishna's appearance, Mother Bhumi goes to Lord Brahma and prays for relief. And then Brahma goes with the demigods to the shore of the milk ocean and meditates. He meditates upon the form of the Lord, and the Lord pacifies through Brahma all the demigods and says, "Don't worry, I am coming, I am descending to relieve the burden of the earth from this excess military force of demoniac kings." So what this means is, contrary to what many people think today, there is a purpose, there is a reason behind everything. Now, we as human beings have reason. We also look for purpose in our life. And therefore, we have so many philosophies, so many points of view, so many explanations of what we're here for. Different doctrines are there. But our reasoning is all subjective. That means, in other words, we don't even know the shape of this universe. We don't know its limits. We don't know how it came to be. We don't know how it is maintained. We don't know the future of this material world. Our knowledge is very, very, very limited. So although we have some reason, it is largely speculative. We speculate, we imagine. So Krishna consciousness actually begins. When we speak of Krishna consciousness, it actually begins when we put aside all of our subjective, imaginative reasoning processes, our imaginative philosophy, our imaginative independent methods of trying to understand what is the purpose of the world, what is the goal of our life, all these kind of things. We put aside as being useless, because my brain is too tiny, my senses are limited, so what can I really know? But still, as I said, we have this spark of reason within us. In other words, reason wants reasons, isn't it? Reason wants reasons. Reason looks for reasons, looks for an answer, looks for a plan behind everything. So that reason, that spark of reason we have within us is actually, according to Lord Kapila in 3rd canto of Bhagavatam, it is actually an essential symptom of the soul. Reason is there because we are spirit soul. The buddhi is the symptom of spirit. But as Prabhupada said, we've just heard in the purport, we are spirit, therefore we are one with the Supreme Brahman, the total spiritual nature. But within that Supreme Brahman, there are two divisions of the features of the Lord. And one is personal, as Prabhupada states here, and the other is differential. The personal expansions are called Vishnu Tattvas, and the differential expansions are called Jiva Tattvas. So we are Jiva. We are very, very, very small. So the reason that we should desire to know, desire to understand, is Krishna's reason. Our reasons are very flimsy, very imperfect, very limited. What can we know through our independent reasoning? But Krishna, Lord Krishna, has his reason why he has manifested this universe, why even he has entered into it to sustain it, why he is within our heart, why he is within the heart of all living entities. He has his plan for this world. And so that we should understand, that plan, Krishna's reason. And that is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. This is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. The Shabda Praman, it is called. Praman means evidence. So evidence or proof, and that is also what we look for with our reasoning powers. We look for some kind of evidence, proof, reason, meaning. That's all comes under the term Praman. But the actual Praman, the actual objective, real, independent Praman is Shabda, the Vedic sound. If we rely upon the other two kinds of Praman, which are Pratyaksha, our sense perception, and Anuman, our mental speculation, then our knowledge will always be imperfect. Even our knowledge of just what is going on around us will be extremely imperfect. This modern Western science, it is simply the science of imperfection, that's all. The science of uncertainty. And the scientists themselves, when you ride them home, when you ride their doctrines home, and they get backed up against the wall and they are forced to be honest, then they admit this. Actually, we're not sure. One big philosopher of science, he said that it may be so that all scientific theories are false from the very start, and we just don't know it. And we're just building castles in the sky, connecting theory to theory to theory to theory, making a big, grand-looking edifice that looks very imposing, very intricate, very complex. But it's all just a house of cards, you see. Just a big illusion. So the scientists actually admit, yes, for all we really know, that's all we may be doing. It's just creating castles in the sky. And that is a fact. If one relies upon Pratyaksha and Anuman, then his knowledge has no solid foundation. And this is what we call Maya. Quite simply. Illusion. Maya, it looks like reality. That's the meaning. Maya. Not this. In other words, this is not reality. It looks like reality. That's the power of Maya. She displays something that looks real, but Maya, it is not. This is not reality. This is illusion. So the actual reality, the actual real reason behind everything, that is conveyed through the Sabda Praman, the evidence of the Vedic sound. So the Vedas are given by the Adi Kavi, Lord Brahma. He is the first sage of the Vedas. Swayambhu. He is firstborn or self-born. He's not born from the womb of a mother. He's directly born from the navel of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu is his father. So Rama is actually the son of God. As you've all heard this expression. The son of God is Lord Brahma. Actually, we're all sons of God, but Brahma has come directly from the lotus navel of Vishnu in the very beginning. He's the first living entity. And he is directly initiated. He becomes the direct disciple of Lord Vishnu and receives from Lord Vishnu the perfect knowledge, the Vedic knowledge. When we use this term Veda, Veda does not mean some kind of collection of books coming from India. That's not the meaning of Veda. Veda is not like like there are, Christian scriptures and Muslim scriptures or this or that scripture, and therefore the Vedic scriptures, which are some Hindu scriptures or Indian scriptures. No, that is not the meaning of the word Veda. Veda doesn't mean that. What does Veda mean? Veda means certain knowledge. Veda doesn't mean imaginary knowledge, hypothetical knowledge, guesswork knowledge. Veda means certain knowledge. That is Veda. So, this certain knowledge, this certain reason for this world is given in Veda. And Lord Krishna, in his Bhagavad Gita, which is the essence of all Vedic knowledge, as we say, Caitanya-caritāmṛta bhakti bhavina cetasa Veda Shastra Puranani Tanani Tani Sarvasha. By studying the Bhagavad Gita, then one can learn, just from this one book, 700 verses which are spoken by the supreme authority, Bhagavan Śrī Kṛṣṇa, then one can learn the essence of all Vedic knowledge. So, Lord Krishna, he says in 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that Prajashrishta, that in the very beginning of creation, Sahayagya Praja Shrishta. So Praja refers to Brahma. Shrishta means his creation. So when Lord Brahma manifested all living entities, the generations of demigods and human beings, this way he populated the planetary systems of this universe. Then along with this Shrishta, this creation, he gave Sahayagya. He gave Yagya. Saha means along with, together. Yagya. So Yagya is actually the purpose of this material world. Yagya is the purpose of this human body. Sacrifice. Yagya is the reason there is an earth planet. It is all for sacrifice. So, Sahayagya Prajashishta Purovacha Prajapati. So Purovacha Prajapati, Lord Brahma, he spoke the Vedic knowledge, which transmits this purpose, this reason to everything, which is Yagya. Anena Prashavishtya Esha Vostu Ishta Kamaduk. That all you living entities, you have come into this world with your desires. Isn't it? To be alive means to have desires. This is how you can check whether you're alive or not. Just make sure that you have some desires. And if you have desires, then you can wipe your brow and say, wow, I'm still alive. Actually, desires are always there. They're not simply products of this body, this material body. Actually, they come from the soul. The soul is eternal. So in whatever body the soul may enter, there will be desires because of the presence of the soul. All you living entities have desires. You want to fulfill them. So, I am giving you this yajna by which you can fulfill all your desires in the most auspicious way. What is that most auspicious way? Well, of course, we have material desires. We desire eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That is natural. This is the energy of the soul projecting through the material coverings, body and mind. And that energy comes out in this way. These drives, these needs for eating, sleeping, mating, defending. And these cannot just be overcome just by, snap of the fingers. That, all right, I will become Avaduta Roy, the king of the Avadutas, and not eat, not sleep, not mate, not defend. No, it is not by whim that we can conquer over these desires. It is by yajna that we can conquer these desires. And yajna means Vishnu. And Vishnu's mode of existence, that mode that he controls, is sattva guna. So to perform yajna means to come to the sattvic stage of life. And in the sattvic stage of life, all of life's desires can be satisfied, even these material desires, but in a pure way, in a way which does not breed karmic reactions. It is the platform of liberation. Constantly performing, living one's life for sacrifice is the platform of liberated activity. So that is the actual purpose of everything, and that is the actual standard of human civilization. Anything that falls short of this, Lord Krishna says in the previous verse, Yajñārtha Kramanonyatra Lokayam Karma. If one is not situated in this yajna, then one's activities will karma bandhana. They will yield in bandha, means bondage. And bondage is not meant, it is actually, one is in the human form of life. This is very important to understand. The human form of life has a mission, and that mission is liberation. That mission is liberation. It is not to prolong the material existence. It is not to earn a new stock of karma. We have been cycling through this samsara, the cycle of birth and death. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha, dosha, dharshana, suffering, birth, death, old age, disease, repeatedly, because of a long-standing stock of karma, which are accumulated in the heart since time immemorial. The beginning cannot be traced out. But now, some or other, not worrying about all that, the origin of the jiva question and all that stuff, which is not really going to help us, as we know from Srila Prabhupada. What is going to help us is properly utilizing this present body that we have now, this human form of life in yoga. And if we do not properly do that, then we will earn in this human form of life another heavy load of karmic reactions, karma bija, seeds. Karmic seeds will be implanted in the heart, and these will have to fructify in future lifetimes. And that is a great tragedy. That is a great tragedy. That after such difficulty, such a struggle in so many lower forms of life, the soul finally comes in this human form and does not utilize this form for what it is meant to do. The dharma means essence, essential duty, again, essential purpose of this human form of life is to attain liberation. That is the meaning of Vedic dharma, to attain liberation. So how do we do that? That the Lord has nicely explained, that tadartam karma kaunteya. O Arjuna, O Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Tadartam karma. You have to work. We have to work. We have these bodies, so work, as Prabhupada said, is inevitable. It is unavoidable. You have to work. So accepting that fact that we have to do something in this body, what do we do? Tadartam means you do for Him. You do for the Lord. You do everything for Krishna. That is the actual meaning of yajna, meaning of dharma, meaning of human life. Tadartam karma. Do everything for Krishna, all of your activities. And what is the result? Mukta Sangha Samachara. If we do everything for Krishna, then samachara, that is perfection. People are looking for perfection in their work, but actually, and they think, this our modern civilization is very technically oriented. It is very practically and technically oriented. So people think perfection means the how, how to do something perfectly, perfecting the how of our activities. But actually, according to Bhagavad Gita, the real perfection is in the why. If the reason why we are doing everything is perfect, and what is that? Again, tadartam karma. if you do everything for Krishna. Because as Lord Krishna says later in the Gita, 18th chapter, every activity in this world is covered by some kind of fault. In other words, on the material platform, you can never achieve perfection. It is, as the old saying is, to err is human. We always make mistakes in our activities. We always, when we want to, we have all desire to perform an expert arti, but then we fumble, we drop the bell or something. Just when we're becoming very proud of ourselves that we're doing everything perfectly, then we make a mistake. In this way, our actual position is revealed. Now we are imperfect. Our senses are imperfect. We are subject to making mistakes. That is natural for us. So we cannot hope in this artificial, technical way, by splitting hairs more and more and more and more and more, to come to some standard of mundane perfection. Not possible. But what we can do is do everything for Krishna. And that, samachara, is perfection. And what is the result of such perfectional activity? Mukta Sangha. The Lord says that then one is liberated from all contamination. That's one explanation of the term Mukta Sangha. To be Sangha refers to impure association, unwanted desires, these material desires, this material attraction. Mukta, one becomes liberated from it. Another understanding of this term is that Mukta Sangha is a name of the Supreme Lord Himself. So if we follow the Lord's instructions, if we do everything for Him, then we are always associating with Him. And that is our perfection. So either way, both explanations are correct. So this Mukta Sangha, attaining liberation through one's activities, that is actual dharma. That is the true definition of dharma. Now dharma, as you know, it has many meanings. Generally it is translated as religion, and people talk of Hindu dharma, or even Christian dharma, this dharma, that dharma. Dharma also means occupation, our duty in life. Dharma also means virtue, goodness. Dharma means essence. But here, Bhagavatam says, Dharmasya hi appavargasya. This is the most comprehensive definition of dharma. This is Krishna's own definition of dharma. Dharmasya hi appavargasya. Dharma is that, the literal translation, dharma is that which nullifies the vargas. Dharmasya hi appavargasya. Dharma is that which nullifies the vargas. So what are the vargas? What does this term refer to? Varga in Sanskrit. So varga means the ways of material life. Also our motivations, what we aspire for in our material life. These vargas are the cause for our moving on from body to body to body, remaining entangled in material existence, remaining victimized by birth and death. It is because of these vargas. And so Queen Kunti, she explains 4 such vargas. Janma, Aishwarya, Shrukta, Shrivir. That we think that it is very good to have a nice birth, Janma. And in Kali Yuga, of course, everybody thinks their birth is the nicest. This is the tendency in Kali Yuga. Previously, there used to be some understanding that there are higher and lower births. But now, Kalo Shudra Sambhava, everybody in this age is born not better than Shudra. Everyone is born in the lowest category. But due to the rampant false ego at this time, everyone is thinking, no, my family is best, my nation is best, my community is best. You see? Even if one is born in a family of thieves, that is the best in Kali Yuga. One's very proud, yes. I'm born in a family of thieves, we are the best of all. In fact, I was telling the other day, from history of Kali Yuga, the thieves and rogues become the leaders, just like that Alexander the Great. So when I learned about Alexander the Great, when I was in school, I can remember that. He was supposed to be a very important figure in history, in Western history. Alexander the Great. He conquered such a huge empire from Greece to the borders of India, all of Jerusalem and the Middle East and Persia. All of this was conquered by him in a very short time. So he was considered a very great man. But there's this story from history about him. Because he was king, he was in the position of king, therefore he must administer justice. So a thief was brought before him. And so the accusation was read. This person, he's a thief, he stole other people's property, but he was caught. Now he has been brought before the king for judgment and punishment. So Alexander, he turned to the thief and said, so you understand that you're a criminal? By committing these deeds, this thievery? You understand? That means you're a criminal. And the thief said, no, I don't understand. And Alexander was caught off guard, because he thought, it's obvious. If you steal, it means you're a criminal. Why can't you understand this? Well, Your Majesty, I don't see any difference between you and me. Because you have ridden all over the world with your army, stealing away people's land. So you're just a big thief. I stole a few cucumbers, but you stole empires. So why am I punishable? You're the king. By stealing, you have become the emperor. You're sitting in that throne by thievery, and you're going to judge me. So then Alexander, he thought, oh, actually he's right. All right, let him go. So this is morality in the Kali Yuga. There is no standard. Everyone is just thinking, I am the best, my heritage is the best, my activities are the best. That's all. That's all they can understand. Completely ignorant. So anyway, we aspire like this. We think that to be born in a good family, to be born in the Benelux or whatever, that is a very good birth. So we like this. Janma Aishwarya, everyone desires Aishwarya. It means wealth, opulence. Shuddha, everyone desires to become known as an educated person, learned person. Shrivir, everybody wants to be beautiful. So these are bargains. And in what is known as mundane dharma, the non-Vedic dharma, Prabhupada, in explaining dharma, he differentiated. He said the real Vedic dharma means this, dharmasya hyapavargasya. It means all occupations are aimed at liberation and nullifying these vargas, at getting free of janma, aishwarya, shrutta, shrivir. Nullifying them. How do you nullify them though? Not that you blow them up with dynamite. No. You engage them in Krishna's service. That's how they're nullified or overcome. So if you have good birth, if you're a respected person, just like, Prabhupada, he understood this very well. That in this Kali Yuga, although India is known as the Janma Bhumi, or Punya Bhumi, it means it is the land of piety. Among all lands in the world, India is the Punya Bhumi, the land of piety. So to be born in India is most fortunate. That is confirmed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One who takes his birth in India is already very, very fortunate. But in the Kali Yuga, the Indians think that the Western culture is superior. To be born in West, that is a very nice birth. We are most unfortunate. We were only born in India. Prabhupada many times used to say, the Indians have now gone begging. They've gone begging the Westerners for their culture, being ashamed of their own culture. So Srila Prabhupada, I remember I attended his Bhagavad Dharma discourses in 1972 in New Vrindavan, 7 days, in which Srila Prabhupada was explaining Dharma. What is Dharma? very brilliant, very illuminating lectures. So he said, therefore I have single-handedly come to teach what is real Dharma. In India they have lost it. He very boldly said that. In India they have put aside their own Dharma, their own culture, and are taking from the West. Therefore I have single-handedly come to teach the real Dharma, and this is it. Dharmasya hi apavargasya. To become free of these vargas. But in the mundane conception, material religion, these vargas are considered to be very good. These are actually the goals. To get a good birth, to get opulence, wealth, to get nice education, to be recognized as learned, to be very beautiful. You see, mundane people think, these are the proper results of dharma, pious activity. But no! Again, what is this really? Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. These four so-called desirable things, they ultimately reduce to birth, death, disease, old age. That's all. This is not nice. Dukkha, doshana, darshana. One in knowledge sees that this is suffering. This janma, shrutta, shrivi is actually suffering. So it must be overcome. So Prabhupada explained, in the mundane dharma, so-called Hindu dharma or materialistic version of varnashram dharma, there is not this knowledge of liberation. The brahmanas do not actually teach. They do not actually value liberation. Rather, Prabhupada, in these Bhagavad Dharma discourses, he very interestingly revealed what the brahmanas teach. What they learn is Ayurveda and astrology. Because the lower caste, the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, all they're concerned about is to be healthy and to know what the future will bring. You see? So therefore, it's very nice to have brahmanas around. You see, when you feel a little sick, you can go to the brahmana, he will prescribe some Ayurvedic cure, you'll feel better. And when you want to know what's around the corner, time for me, will I become wealthy, will I become, this or that, famous? And then the brahmana can do a horoscope and say, oh yes, very nice, very nice. You will meet a tall, dark man, and your future will change. For the better. Now please give me, for every horoscope, I am taking some dakshin. So in this way the brahmanas are living by catering to the materialistic desires of the uneducated people, lower classes of people. And so, or Prabhupada also, he explained this religion conducted by brahmanas or priests, which is based on just praying for bread, going to temple or church and praying for bread. So Prabhupada said, this is not the human standard. This is animalism. And God is, Prabhupada said, already take it for granted that God is supplying food. All the animals are eating, they're not going to church. Take it for granted that food is coming. Why is that the goal of religion? Why is that the most important thing? We build a big temple, big church. We all dress up. We go on the prescribed holy day. We sing the hymns. We bow down. We listen to the sermon. And then we pray for daily bread. Prabhupada said also, and he said there's the Indian version of this in Bengal. Prabhupada, because he grew up in Bengal, so they're very big on this Durga Puja. And this is the same thing. Prabhupada imitated in one lecture. He said they make the statue, the murti of Durga, they're very expert in this in Bengal, out of clay and straw. Very beautiful murtis they make. And then they have big festival for Durga Ma. And then they're all coming forward, and Prabhupada imitated in Bengali. Deho Rup, Deho Śrī, means give me rupees, give me woman, and this and that. So this way they pick. And Prabhupada, this is not Dharma. This is not the human standard of Dharma. This is not Manusya Dharma. Manusya Dharma means To Prabhupada said, if you have intelligence, you will pray, please my dear Lord, get me out of this material world. That is the real prayer. Huh? Prabhupada said, praying for anything else means you don't know how to pray. You haven't learned. So that only real Brahmins can teach. Real priests, real knowers of Veda, knowers of Scripture. Only they can teach this. And so this type of materialistic dharma, Prabhupada explained, it degrades. It degrades finally to what we know as this Western Mleccha Yavana civilization, which, as Prabhupada really very brilliantly pointed out, is dedicated to liberation by machine. Because it is the human nature, it is a human mission to seek liberation. Everybody is seeking that. Just like when they go to the Brahmins to know the future, to get some Ayurvedic medicine, they're also doing that because they want to be liberated from distress and anxiety. They have anxieties about the future, their bodies are giving them distress. So they want liberation, but due to foolishness, they take shelter of some material substitute for the real thing. And so this process degrades until we get our modern Western culture, which is of course irreligious completely, but still there is aspiration for liberation by way of machine. So if someone has to travel long distance, you see, say one in the olden days to go from, let's say, here to Amsterdam. Well, that was a great journey. That would take many, many days. And there would be so many dangers on the way. There would be robbers behind the trees and this and that. One could get lost. Anyway, so many. So it was a great, great endeavor just to travel from here to Amsterdam. But now we are liberated from all that trouble by the grace of machinery, technology. We have very smooth, ribbon-like highways with nice, flat asphalt surfaces. And we have horseless carriages, automobiles with powerful motors and nice rubber tires filled with air and suspended by springs for a nice, comfortable ride, and soft seat, and AM/FM radio, and tape deck to make even that few hours of journey. Now it's just reduced to a few hours, but even that will become more comfortable with soft, soothing music, and all kinds of things they add to these cars nowadays to liberate us. They're actually planning now where they'll even liberate us from steering the car. There will be embedded in the road some electronic path, guide, some kind of metal strip, and you program your car to follow the strip to Amsterdam. And so you can just get your car on the right road and then relax, turn your seat around away from the dashboard, have a drink. Everything will be guided by a computer. You see? So this is what everyone is aspiring for in this civilization. Also liberation. But Prabhupada said it is not real liberation, which is apavarga. Nullifying that which nullifies also the so-called advantages. This liberation they're aspiring for is one-sided. We want to reduce all the inconveniences, but we want to increase the so-called conveniences, the so-called advantages. But they become the source of new inconveniences. That's the law of the world of duality. So you try to reduce all the suffering and increase the enjoyment, but then suddenly manifesting out of all that enjoyment is more suffering. And then you have to struggle with that. And then adjusting dualities, giving up the real path of liberation. Then that civilization becomes duskritin. It becomes duskritin, it becomes degraded. As Prabhupada explained in his Bhagavad Dharma lectures, the four orders, the four natural social orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, they become transformed by materialism into Buddha, Naradama, Maya Prahita Gyan and Asura. Mudha means ass. That's the mundane, materialistic equivalent of Shudra. And the equivalent of Vaishya is Naradama. And the equivalent of Kshatriya is Asura, demon. And the equivalent of Brahmana is Maya-prayukta Jnana, the confused, speculating, absent-minded professor-type intellectual. You see, the educated idiot, in other words. You see? So, yes, this is the state of our civilization today. So, whenever that happens, whenever the human society becomes simply a band of duskritinas, and the actual intelligent persons, the pious persons, those who follow Dharma, those who seek liberation through this certain method of Dharma. Oh, this was a point I wanted to make, that in actual Varnashram Dharma, or Daivi Varnashram Dharma, has probably explained all the orders of life, the 4 orders of life, they all achieve liberation. Not just the Brahmins. That again is the materialistic conception. That the Brahmins are the ones, they're the liberated ones, and everybody else is bound up in an illusion. Prabhupada said that means these Brahmanas don't know how to teach the science of liberation. That is why society is in that state. Therefore these Brahmanas are also not liberated. Because the whole of society, all 4 orders, when Varna Ashram Dharma is Daivi, divine, when it is actually, and what is the significance of that term? Daivi means Deva, God. When it is God-centered, when it is Krishna conscious, when it is actually following Lord's own instructions in Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarna Maya Shrishtam, I have given these 4 orders of life. So when these 4 orders are simply serving Krishna, and then all 4 achieve the liberated platform. It's not that one has to take birth again from Shudra to Vaishya to Kshatriya to Brahmana. No. Immediately, one is liberated by serving Krishna. So, anyway, when this natural system of social order becomes corrupted, this is called Dharmasya Glani, the fall down of Dharma, and at that time, as Lord Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita and is similarly enunciated here in Srimad Bhagavatam, at that time, when the world is overburdened by irreligious persons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead descends. And what is His purpose in descending? So Prabhupada explains very nicely in the last paragraph. Certainly the Lord does not... now the question is why the Lord, who is omnipotent, comes here to diminish the burden created upon the world by the unscrupulous kingly order. Certainly the Lord does not need to come here personally for such purposes. But He actually descends to exhibit His transcendental activities in order to encourage His pure devotees who want to enjoy life by chanting the glories of the Lord. In other words, the Lord, when Mother Bhumi prays to Brahma, and Brahma comes with the demigods and prays to the Lord, please do something to relieve the burden of the earth, then the Lord, He takes advantage. You see, He takes the opportunity. On the plea of that, He comes to fulfill His own mission. Now, in fulfilling His own mission, of course, automatically, then the world situation is rectified. The demon Parijanaya, Sadhanam, Vinasaya, Judushkritam, all the demons are killed, and the saintly persons are delivered from their oppressive rule. That happens. But actually, the Lord comes to display what He calls, elsewhere in Bhagavatam, Mama Virya Samvidu. My glorious, my powerful Virya. Virya means His activities of great power, or very wonderful activities, which are transcendental. His Leela. He comes to display His Leela. And therefore, Satam Prasangam Mama Virya Samvido. These pastimes that the Lord displays when He comes, they are the subject matter of hearing and chanting for the Satam. for the devotees. Those persons who are attached to Krishna. Those persons who are attracted to Krishna as he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who love Krishna. Then they love to observe and participate in the Lord's pastimes, and they love to glorify them. So this Leela becomes a subject matter of saintly persons. Satam prasanga mama. Virya samvedo. And when these saintly persons, these Mahatmas, Prabhupada refers to Bhagavad Gita 9, 13 and 14. When these Mahatmas chant the glories of the Lord, then Bhavanti Śrī Kṛṣṇa Janmāṣṭamī. And then their katha, this that they are discussing, talking about, becomes very, very sweet, very captivating to the Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Śrī means the ear and the heart. Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Karna means ear, Śrī means heart. So, when the devotees of the Lord take the subject matter of Krishna's appearance and they discuss it among themselves, and they glorify it, they broadcast it, then this vibration is most attractive. And so what happens? So then others who are not yet devotees, they become attracted. Their ears become pulled to the assembly of devotees. Their hearts become attached to that assembly of devotees. And they want to drink this nectar of Krishna's pastimes. As the devotees are discussing among themselves. They want to drink it. And then, what is the result of that? The result of that is that real Dharma becomes manifest. Tad-joshana. Asu appavargasya vartmani. This is the way that this appavarga vartmani, this means the path of appavarga, we've already explained, dharmasya hi appavargasya. Real Dharma means this appavarga, this ending of all the vargas, of all the, even the so-called good aspects of material life, ending the whole thing. Ending our material entanglement once and for all. That is appavarga. So one cultivates this path by the hearing process. So therefore, Krishna consciousness is inseparable from Dharma. You cannot practice Dharma. There is no such thing as Dharma without Krishna consciousness, without Krishna katha, without hearing about and discussing the Lord's pastimes. And this is the reason why He has descended on this day. This is the reason for Janmāṣṭamī. This is the actual reason. The Lord came so that we could talk about Him. So that we can remember Him. So that we can taste the nectar of this transcendental katha, transcendental narrative. And thus advance on the path of real Dharma. And this advancement means, the conclusion is, Shraddha Bhaktir Bhaktir Anukramishya.